Do it.
Do it now.
I'm still munching on pizza.
Oh, pizza. Why did you bring enough for everybody? Rick?
I technically did.
Oh, okay.
Shove it through the internet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, thanks.
Rub it on your monitor.
Yeah.
Hello, chat. Don't mind us.
CD tray.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just start the stream when I said that?
Wait, I don't have a CD tray anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just talking about, like, Rick sharing his
Rubbing
pizza.
pizza on Rick's monitors.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a scratch and sniff, you know.
We are once again without the couch, unfortunately. There's still
Yeah.
some fuckery going on there.
Yeah, it's not Miller's fault, but we're gonna blame him anyway, and maybe make him into chicken wings. No.
Well, that was going to happen no matter what, so.
Yeah, it's true. We're gonna deep fry him sooner or later. We're gonna get one of those like turkey things that William Shatner was always shilling for, and just anyway.
Friend flavored.
Red flavored.
So, how's everybody doing?
In the chat tonight?
On the couch.
Well, that
Well,
too, but
If you were on the couch, how would you be doing?
I mean, Aloysius is no matter, even if he's doing good, the most he's going to say is, "I'm feeling tolerable." All right, just tolerable. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and that's in fact both sides.
How do you feel in the couch of Schrodinger?
Picking up on the wrong side of the bed would be like off the back headboard.
Yeah, just do like a backflip. Yeah.
Oh no!
there they are. All right.
A lot better.
No.
Now it shouldn't cut out of Discord.
No, you don't. Oh.
That comes through pretty good.
Soundcheck.
It's a lot meatier of a whistle.
Silver
It
Spotlight says,
is.
Silver Spotlight says, so the ultimate success would be getting Aloy's smile.
I have a potion for that.
You can get me the
You know
smile.
the Happy Joy episode from Ren and Stimpy? It'll be like that.
God, Stimpy.
Contrary to popular belief, I do in fact smile when I get paid.
I need
When
photo
what?
documentation.
When he gets paid, like the
Ah.
corner of his mouth, like slightly.
His mouth like curls into a smile like the Grinch.
The Grinch, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it, I
Like,
was
you
just
can
going
see
to say.
it. You can see it with a magnifying glass.
Alrighty.
Let's path the finds.
Let's find some paths, but before that, Aloysius, got anything interesting to tell us about yourself today?
Yes, and I'm being out of character right now because the party doesn't know this, so don't tell them. The reason I was nervous about potentially crossing the Fae isn't actually. It's not that I care that much about Ember Market or the region or anything like that. It's that I don't want to be investigated at all by the authorities because not everything they might turn up would be savory and wholesome. Let's just put it that way.
Some tax evasion, huh?
As you do. Wizard tax evasion.
Yeah.
What about you,
Wizard's elf
Salgar?
slot evasion.
So for those who were here last session, and you guys witnessed Kenji call Felgar a bitch. The reason why she didn't jump at him is because she actually doesn't know what that means.
If you need context for that, chat, go watch the VOD for last week. How about Tiki Kiri? What's new or interesting with Tiki?
I would say that ever since becoming a metal kineticist, Tiki has been able to feel magnetic fields pretty innately. He feels the planet's magnetic field, like almost like a normal breeze kind of flowing across him. But he also feels what he thinks are small magnetic fields around other people. And so he believes that these magnetic fields are the signs of a soul, and that anything that has a magnetic field has a soul. People, the world,
A magnet.
a magnet.
They work.
How's your
That's a cool one.
How's your elemental gate doing tonight?
Tight
How
and
wide
pert.
is it? Is it nice and spread?
Like butter?
Sure.
How do they work? Well, clearly it's a soul. That's how they work. It's a soul. That's how magnets work.
Clearly. What's going on with Nimki?
Squeak. Oh man, I've got a really good one. So the party is discovering anyone who sleeps in the same room as him that in the morning, within about 10 or 15 seconds of him waking up, he has a tendency to chain sneeze over and over and over and over really fast. Achoo, 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 achoo. That's all.
Oh wow, my ex did that.
Really interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. So I guess if you're bunking with Nimki, just be prepared to wake up to sneezes in the morning.
Yeah.
How about Cardamon?
So while I was out in Buffalo, New York, we did this weird. I was explaining Cardamon to the people that I was staying with that are very much loved ones that I've known for a long time, and they're really interested in this character. So we started doing a weird role play thing, and started doing this thing where he was walking through these woods and trying to get ingredients for his potions and everything. And then there was like a tree branch that like swatted his butt, and he was like, "Well, that was weird. Wait, what's were these?" And then he's like, "Oh no! I wandered into the horny forest again. Nap." So I think I like the idea that he goes on misadventures whenever he tries to go and gather ingredients, and he wanders into the wrong forests every now and then. But
Wait, did it say the horny forest?
yeah, he walked out with a ton of tree of essence, mostly bottled. Some of it might have gotten on him,
Sorry,
but
what?
he's got that ingredient.
Maybe
Where does
in him?
Job well done.
Where does what, Jonah? Where does what?
How does? Never mind.
Tree of essence? Please don't ask. please don't make me explain that I was in a forest bukkake.
Well, there you've explained it.
I was. That's the bet.
And how about Kenji?
Okay, so the only reason that Kenji is actually aware of his true age is because it was paid for. The magical divination was paid for by his master Dron, and the reason is that early on, since his age was unknown at the time, he was placed in Echelon 3, which were the students from 6 to 8 years of age. And he completely outcompeted the other students. And they complained because they were under the assumption that Kenji must have been much too old for that echelon. So Drawn paid for the divination. It turned out that he was actually 5 years old at the time, so he was allowed to stay. And the others in his echelon still hold a grudge against Kenji after that.
Kenji
Wait,
was
but
not
how
very
old is Kenji
popular.
now?
Kenji was like 20, I think. 19, 20?
19.
Yes.
Hmm.
All right, then. How about we get back to it? Is everybody ready?
Okay.
Let's play a video game.
So, last time on Fuzzy Dice, after failing to catch up to the fire drake that you had been chasing through the Ember Market, the party split, with Cardamon and Thelgar heading off together to retrieve Thelgar's equipment, and Kenji, Aloysius, Nimki, and Tiki heading back to Kenji's estate to speak with Lady Sandra Dolmar to get information. After confirming that the party of Fae they had encountered chasing the Drake was almost certainly not an actual wild hunt, much to her relief, she tasked the party with dealing with this fire drake somehow. She left the specifics up to them, but agreed to pay them a small sum of gold upon their completion. Cardamon attempted to engage Thelgar in single combat.
I had full confidence. Needs more testing.
He was not terribly successful. Well, he successfully engaged her. Let's say that part. Let's
That's
give
so
him that
nice.
much.
That's such a nice way of saying I got my ass kicked.
He successfully touched her.
I did. I got a scratch on her, which is more than I thought that would happen.
On her elbow.
Yeah, right there. Look. It didn't draw blood, but you know.
How many ribs did she break?
Most of them.
How many ribs did she not break? Might be easier to answer.
What
Oh,
happened
really?
is he, tell me.
Yeah,
But
There may or may not be a punctured lung.
while this was going on, Nimki, Kenji, and Aloysius broke off to attempt to locate where the fire drake had split off and attempt to track it. We now dive back into the bustling Ember Market. Despite the fact that a drake had just tore through the streets less than a few hours ago, things have nominally returned to normal. Obviously, everybody's still talking about the rampant drake, but merchants peddle their wares, barkers draw attention to their shops, and the hustle and bustle of the city has returned to something approximating normal. It is at this point getting into later afternoon in the day. Nimki, Kenji, and Aloysius have split off from the others to attempt to track the drake or gather information as best they are able. Thelgar, Cardamon, and Tiki Kiri are together at a rundown dive of a bar. Thelgar having just completely beaten the crap out of Cardamon. Let's focus in on Aloysius, Kenji, and Nimki. does not take you too terribly long to find the spot where you had split off from the Drake previously. However, at this point, it is getting into later afternoon, so the amount of time you have to gather information is probably fairly limited for the day. What would you like to do now that you're here?
So, Kenji and Aloysius, feel free to shoot this down when we come across the Drake and, the Fae. I have a feeling in my mind that if we are very serious with the Fae, that they're not going to take us seriously. What if we were to pretend to be on their wild hunt with them? Do you think that would work?
I don't know if they would accept us.
Yeah. What if we were competitors?
Now that, on the other hand,
I don't know. I mean, yes, they do historically respond to trickery and such, but I don't know. It seems risky.
I think it's going to be risky either way. I don't know them very well. I just sort of picture them, if they're playing pretend, that we might have to do the same. But I don't know.
All right. Well, you can be our point mouse. How about that? You can be the the one who.
I can try.
I mean, better you than me. Honestly, I am woefully straightforward sometimes, and I know that. So if you wanna try and play it that way, go for it.
Honestly, anything could work. I don't know. But
No,
yeah.
no. It's bear anything I got.
Okay, so there is the alleyway where I told Thelgar the Drake went, but we are not going that way. We're going that way. Hopefully we can see a trail of destruction along the way.
and we're gonna have to
And
start.
that might lead us.
Gonna have to start tracking this thing.
Yeah.
Let me see if I have anything in my bag of tricks that could help with that.
If you would like to attempt to track the Drake, you may do so using society or survival.
Okay.
If you have anything that you feel might be beneficial,
I've got a good bonus in society. I could give that a try. All right.
I've got some survival.
Let me
Let's
try
take a look here.
society roll. I got a 10 out of society. Nimki got a 23 out of survival.
That was a lucky one.
Aloysius, you're not particularly familiar with this part of the Ember Market, and attempting to navigate it based on what you remember is difficult.
Oh, turns out I have just never been in this specific part of the city before.
Nope.
So I got a 23. Where does that take us?
This is the touristy part. They sell the tacky souvenir stuff here.
Nimki,
Squeak.
with the aid of your spell that you cast on the Drake to allow it to escape,
Probably makes it harder.
the DC you were looking for to track it was 22.
Okay.
The magical aid that you gave it allowed it to sort of blend into the shadows a lot more easily, and that made its stealth, higher. You, however, being familiar with your own magic, managed to kind of work around the benefits that it provided the Drake and find signs of which direction it started to head. Once it broke off from you and the Fae, it had no reason to continue to run rampant through the streets and alleyways, knocking things
That makes
over
sense.
as it went. Music, forgot about that. Nevertheless, you're able to track signs of its passage, deep claw marks in the sandstone, knocked over barrels, slightly singed, just from the presence of this fire creature. You follow it through the alleyways of the Ember Market. Surprisingly, seems to have taken its time and effort to avoid people as it went.
It sounds like it might have been successful at even evading the Fae, maybe. Because if the Fae had found it, it'd be easier for us. But things seem pretty quiet so far.
All right.
It is about an hour of tracking it through the Ember Market before you reach the edge of the farmlands.
Wow.
Are we making progress? I can't tell. And my back is not happy.
At least it doesn't seem to have gone underground.
I'm pretty confident about this. I'm pretty certain we're getting closer.
It is now early evening. The sun is starting to set. The magic at this point of its retreat had already long worn off. So you can attempt to continue tracking it. I would request that it be specifically survival this time,
Okay.
because you're moving into what is effectively natural terrain
Right.
rather than... However, it
It's
is
like
also
really moved.
possible to request information from people nearby using society or one of your charisma-based skills. Diplomacy, intimidation, deception.
Kenji and Aloysia can do that if they like. I think the mouse is going to keep sniffing around.
You might as well ask around. Let's see here.
I can use society for to ask around.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Society is an intelligence-based one.
Okay.
Let's say.
Nimki, as you get into the farmlands, you find that the soft soil mixed with sand and the dense foliage of the crops that they're growing here have made it actually quite difficult to continue tracking.
It'd be worth asking even if people have spotted or heard the Fae, because they might be a little more noisy.
Yeah, they are not subtle.
Well, at least they were not
Aloysius.
subtle.
Aloysius,
Yes?
you decide to start asking around, and it's some of the people who are tending to the soil and gathering crops that give you some information. One person in particular mentions seeing some of the Fae that you saw heading north through the farmlands, just kind of traipsing through the fields, not really paying attention to the workers or anything else. They were moving as a group again. Like, you recall when you separated from them, they had split up.
Okay.
Kenji, you also decide to kind of ask around farmers and farm workers. You get a bit of information as well. One person in particular, one of the farm owners, mentions seeing a large red body moving through the crops swiftly and stealthily as it was able to at the time. It seemed to have been heading north by northeast, if you had to take a guess, towards the slums.
And the best I got then, that the Drake is possibly headed towards the slums.
It's the only lead we got, I guess.
All right.
At this
well,
point, the sun has fully set, and it is becoming dark.
the question is, are we going to try and find the thing first, or are we going to try and find the pursuers first?
I feel like it doesn't matter. Whichever one we can come across first, they're going to be headed in the same direction,
Ish.
theoretically. Yeah. One leads to the other, so
Well, I'm in favor of trying to track down the Fae first, because if we can ally with them, or at least make them think we're allying with them, then we'll have a little more firepower
true.
when we try and find the critter.
I would like the three of you, if you are trained, and I know Aloysius and Kenji are, I'm not sure about Nimki, to make society checks to recall knowledge.
nope.
8.
Okay, that's a 16 for Aloysius, and an 18 for Kenji. Both of you are relatively familiar with the slums. Kenji, you a bit more so, just due to your line of work. The slums are full of many large abandoned buildings where people tend to take shelter and like create little communes to try and get by together. If the Drake was headed towards the slums, there are many places there it could potentially hide. Kenji, you also know that there are also entrances to the tunnels below the city there.
Oh boy.
If it finds one of those, then that's probably even better for it.
This might be a problem then. Let's see. Okay, it's getting dark. We probably need to group up with the others.
Yeah, we
It
better
would be
find them.
ideal to keep an eye out for the Drake, but I would not suggest just staying in the slums overnight if we
No,
can help
not
it.
this neighborhood. I mean, you could probably handle yourself, but I'm old.
And I'm very
But-
small. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we should probably beat him. Even with these critters on the loose, I didn't think it was going to take this long. All right, why don't we regroup with the others and I don't know, call it a day, get a drink.
So let's rewind the clock a bit and gather back up with Thelgar, Cardamon, and Tikikiri. Cardamon, you just got your ass handed to you. Thelgar, you still have no idea what that was about. Tikikiri, you stole 2 copper.
I stole 2 copper and I lost 2 gold to the bet with Nimki.
We can lie and tell him I won.
Wait a moment. Were you betting money on this fight?
I bet on you! Or sorry, no, I bet on Cardamom. That was right. Nimki bet
Don't
on
look
you.
at me. I don't think you have the right to be upset with me right now.
She extends her hand to Tikikiri. The money. Now.
What do you mean the money? I gotta pay out Nimki next time we see them.
Yeah, and you're gonna pay me instead.
You know what? I will hand the 2 gold to Thelgar, and I'm gonna be like, you argue with Nimki, it ain't my thing.
All right, Thelgar, give yourself 2 gold. Tiki Kiri, remove 2 gold.
At least roll for intimidation.
No,
I
Tiki
think
Kiri
I have
is
to.
just a wiener and gonna give up immediately.
Thelgar could probably hit his ass.
Can't you just lift money out of people's pockets or something?
I don't
Just
know.
saying.
I'm kind of curious how Nimki would deal with this. The little guy's cute and all, but he seems a little bit of a pushover. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, He's
Can
a
cause a
pushover.
little bit of stirring between Thelgar and him.
Well, I don't know what this all was about, but at least I got money.
We're deeply fast friends now. Is why.
I would like to use the 2 copper to buy some extremely cheap beers for me and Cardamom.
Done.
Cardamom makes himself a potion of pain killing and starts drinking it.
Oh no.
Don't forget, you are trained in medicine. You can attempt to treat your
No,
own
I'm
wounds.
saving this character interaction for Nemkeet.
Cardamom makes Tylenol.
Yes.
Yeah. Tiki Kiri, you go to the bar, get a couple flagons of cheap ale, and take one over to Cardamom.
Here, to soften the bruises.
Cardamon's drinking. Or hold on. So you hand it to him. Let me see if I can do the Foley for this. So he starts. He takes a tentative sip at first, and then feels the warm buzzies, and then you just start hearing.
Wow.
Do you have another one?
Nope.
Okay. He falls off the
God
stool.
fucking damn it, Rick. Oh, that's
Wait.
beautiful.
Wait, what happened to the
Fixed.
couch?
The couch has
Couch
been
is
I'm
fixed.
like so smart.
I'm so sparkly.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
These.
I love that. Rick did us.
Oh my god, it's my first Rick art. Let's go.
Same.
Aw, that's cute.
Perfect. The sparklies.
I like how I'm still like twice as big as everybody else.
Of course.
Wait, is
Just
this
canon.
how Kenji perceives the party?
Wait a second. There's a name for that disease, isn't there? Isn't it?
What? What?
Like when you're unable to recognize people's faces.
Oh,
No,
that's it's on the tip of my tongue.
No, I was referring to this is like how Kenji sees us based off of our personalities and what we've done. Was the joke I was going for.
I mean, Talga doesn't look like a bitch, so I'm happy.
You had your character growth.
I look
But-
over to
I mean-
Thelgar and I'm just like, are we good now? Have you gotten out of your system? You've punched 2 people in your party.
What are you talking about? I wasn't
To be fair,
gonna
I
hit
volun-
him. He's
I
the
volunteered.
one who begged me to do it.
I did. It was less of a begging, and an inquiry that I wouldn't let you say no to.
I think you
saying
should
if-
ask him instead whether he's happy or not.
I'm content with the results. I mean, what I learned was I definitely shouldn't be using this mutagen, and our sluggers should be. And then Cardamon goes to the bar to buy more beer because he needs something stronger.
I think you shouldn't use that either. You look so weird.
Oh, by the way, Slush,
Uh-huh.
I would like you to go into your hand in the cards and
Yes.
draw a new hero card for yourself for getting the
Whoa.
shit kicked out of you by Thelgar as a role playing.
With the hand, and then where card?
On the right side,
Oh,
there's a
what-
card stack.
What's that card you just drew? The minced meat?
You're so mean. You're so fucking mean to me.
So yeah, on the right side of the screen, there's a button that looks like a couple of playing cards. That's the card stacks.
Oh, I see.
Open that. Open your hand, and then draw a hero card.
Draw. Number 1 hero deck and top first.
It can be random. It's fine.
Okay.
Or you can just
Random.
do the top. I already shuffled it. You have drawn the betrayal.
Oh, awesome.
The Betrayal is a neutral evil card of intelligence. It features an elven woman with a silver platter covered in berries. Sitting atop the berries is a severed head bleeding from the mouth, its eyes open and dead. That is an evil hero card. You may play it to give me disadvantage on 1d20 roll.
This would have been really nice earlier.
Wait, earlier when exactly?
I would have liked to give you disadvantage on your roll.
Wait, would that be possible? Like, could he use the card
Well-
against me?
I would allow that since you were competing.
Ash
What?
wants to instigate the pettiness. You keep talking shit, Mark.
What?
Cardamon's not upset. I am.
That's a you problem.
God. Okay.
All right.
Does Cardamon get him booze?
Tiki bought you a glass of ale. If you
More,
want more, you'll
please.
have to.
And he slaps Copper on the counter and he's like, "Can you give me something that's like, do you have a drink called the Painkiller?"
Unfortunately, that one costs more than a copper.
Well, could you offer a discount to people that really need it? And then he coughs up
Roll a-
blood onto the bar top.
Roll a diplomacy check with advantage.
Oh, good. For some reason, I have +1 in diplomacy with advantage. Okay. Roll
Yeah,
one,
roll twice and take the higher.
and then roll again.
I didn't know this, but there's
Oof! I'll take the 14.
Valid.
I didn't know this, but there's an actual drink called the Painkiller.
Yes.
There is. It's a very delicious drink.
The bartender kind of looks at you and just shakes his head. It's like, no, I saw you instigating that, kid. That's your own fault.
Okay. He
It'll be
collapses onto the
silver.
floor. He collapses onto the floor and throws 2 silver.
Wait, who do you call a kid?
Cardamon. Cardamon is very puppy.
Okay.
Cardamon's.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So he was referring to. Okay, got it, yeah.
No. So he collapses onto the floor and throws 2 silver. Hope in the bartender's general direction.
You hear the bartender mixing and shaking drinks before he walks around the counter and places something in your hand as you lie face down on the floor.
Oh, good. I don't have more liquid to do the Foley, so assume that same sound is being made.
You drink it. It's very strong.
Does like the first quarter of it kick in whenever I'm 2/3 of the way through the drink?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, good. Well, now I'm just in pain and drunk.
That's how it usually goes.
Your drink lied to me. He joins back up with Thalgar and Tikikiri.
Are you done getting your ass drunk?
I don't. Why are you being so mean? I've done nothing. Me, the player, has done everything wrong. Cardamon did nothing. No, well, that remains to be seen. I might need to run more tests on the beast mutagen.
So what time is it right now? I'm asking the DM.
Oh yeah, we caught up.
For you guys, it's still fairly early afternoon. Like you're just kind of sitting in the bar, not really doing much. If you just want to hang out until the others get back, you can do that.
I assume
I
that
have to do something before it gets dark.
Belgard
Wait.
still needs to go pick up her sword.
Yes,
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's in the
only
evening.
only in the evening.
What? Wait, we still. What if the others weren't able to get enough information on the Fae? That's something that we can go do.
Who cares about the Fae? What about the dragon?
That leads to the. Okay. You know what? You're right. And then Cardamon goes and inquires any characters in the bar that may or may not look like they would have information on Fae potentially.
Look, Felgar, we use the Fae as bait. They will find the dragon, they will draw it out.
Uh-huh. But don't you think it would have
That's the
been
whole point.
easier for the townfolk to have seen a dragon instead of those things?
The town seems to have gotten pretty well along afterwards.
You're like, it's a
Things seem to be
city.
back in
Bullshit
order.
happens all the time. Yeah, a dragon's scary, but
Especially lately.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what I should have rolled for interviewing people.
If you wish to ask people, you may use society or diplomacy.
Yeah, society was the better, and I got an 11.
It's not terribly busy in the bar right now. You ask effectively everyone who's there, including the barkeeper, about the Fae that you saw running through town. You don't really get anything, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Thanks anyways. Well, I got nothing, he says, joining back to them. I think, at the very least, we should see if we can go and research it through at least the Magical Guild. I don't feel good with not having enough information.
I like the idea. How about we circle back to our magician first, before we go to the Magical Guild? And also
Okay.
our doctor, so you can, stop bleeding on the floor.
I'm sorry, I didn't glean everything you said. I think all my brain blood is leaking out right now. Delgar, can you carry me? He climbs out of
lets out
Thalbar.
a sigh and she carries him.
He's a little dog
One foot-
backpack.
One funny movement, I'll break your back right here.
I don't think I can move much, and it's already broken.
That's good.
He got some more.
Okay,
blood.
don't do that on my clothes, please.
It wasn't on you.
Just so you all know, Aloysius is going to be resistant to he's not going to want to go to the Magician's Guild. But I mean, you know.
Oh well, I think our group has
Well,
time to
then-
figure that out before we reconvene.
Have that be a thing that comes up in RP, Jonas. Don't just say it out.
Oh, I should.
I mean, you can say it out. It's fine, but we do have to like RP around it.
Yeah, it'll come up.
So, the three of you kind of head back out to meet back up with Nimki, Kenji, and Aloysius.
Which means it's
follow-
already evening.
Following after their
Right.
trail, you kind of manage to track them to the edge of the farmlands, by which point they are starting to head back, and you kind of meet back up at the edge of the Ember Market and the farms.
Hey guys, squeak. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Hello, Nimki. I bring you back a Kola with one very small wound on her, and a Cardamom with one very large wound on all of him.
You should probably take care of hers first. Hers looks pretty bad.
Dalgar just like drops cardamom on the floor. Like a pile
You
of
hear his
trash.
bones.
Have you left him like that the entire afternoon?
I mean, this is his own
I-
fault.
I couldn't make my own health potions.
What am I gonna do about it? I can't exactly, like, put him in an iron lung or something.
So Cardamon, I mean, you're doing okay. It's just a scratch, but I'm gonna do you first. All right, let's do that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for humoring my pride.
All right. Oh, I have to remember how to press buttons. Treat wounds.
Yeah, make sure you have your
I think I did it.
Aloysius sighs a
An
bit.
attempt. Oh, go ahead.
Felgar, do you know why he did all that?
No, I don't. Do you know?
Yes.
Did it
He
work?
was-
Okay.
He was doing
Why
it
did he do that?
because
I
he
didn't
wanted,
see a roll.
I'll try again.
he wanted in his own way to make you feel better. He was making an effort out of sympathy. Can't believe
I'm not gonna lie, I do feel a little better because, you know, people punching people on the face
Okay.
always makes me feel better.
All right, we'll just call that a net win.
You could have said that earlier.
All right, Ash. I am definitely hitting the roll button
Yeah,
and
no,
nothing's happening.
I saw it.
You did. Okay.
It showed up on, weirdly enough, Rick's stream.
Odd.
That said, you got a critical success.
Oh,
So
2 critical
Uh,
successes.
that is 4d8 of healing to Cardamon. If you wish to
Snazzy.
just roll that.
hopefully that. I'm not seeing anything. What am I doing?
I can see
I
that.
can
We
see
got
it.
27.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll refresh.
So Cardamon, you restore 27 hit points, which I believe is all of it.
Yeah, that's all.
God,
of it.
that's really not a lot of health.
I got this. I found this big band-aid just for you.
Oh, thank you.
Slap is on his face.
Mhm.
So Slush, if you select your
Ow.
token and Slush, if you select your token and hit the button in chat that says heal.
Oh,
Da-na-na-na.
oh, good.
Nibki, I will allow that second one to apply to Thelgar if you want to roll
Oh.
another 4d8.
I accept that generosity. Let's see.
You should. She really needs it.
Oh, guys, minor elbow cut goes away.
Thelgar,
Yeah.
if you allow Nimki to tend to your wounds, because you are still slightly injured from the chase earlier. Not badly, but
She shrugs. Fine.
Look, I did that.
I'm just imagining Nimki just like walks up to her and then like looks at a little band-aid on her arm and just pulls it off and it's just completely unmarked underneath.
I managed to get all the healing tonic right in that little scratch. The whole, just like a half a gallon. It's all in there now.
Cardamon, you're bandaged up. You're feeling a lot less fractured.
Do I look like
Let's
I just
talk
walked out
about
of the
your-
hospital from a car accident?
Basically, your boo boo's gone.
So Cardamom, now that you're feeling fine, want to do it again?
Yeah! He pulls out another bestial mutagen. This time you get one!
No.
I do not know if
no,
we
no,
have
no.
time for this.
Okay.
Wait a second. She looks up like is it evening already?
Yeah, it's early
dark.
evening at this point. Darkness has settled in.
You're right. We don't have time for this. I had to retrieve my sword.
How far is it?
It's just in the Ember Market. It's less than an hour's walk from where you are.
That's worth it.
We can walk and talk. Tell us what you guys have found out while we had our little curmudgeonly rodeo over here.
Cardamom needs another piggyback. His blood is still generating in his body to replace what he lost.
Oh, Christ.
The trail went north into the slums and then kind of went cold from there. There's a bunch of buildings and maybe some underground areas that Drake could be. It's going to be a little tricky.
Underground? I guess that makes sense for a Drake that we saw was having trouble flying.
It's gonna go where there aren't many people.
Yeah.
Even I know
We were gonna
that.
ask.
What are we waiting for? Once I get my sword, we should head underground.
I was thinking of going and asking. Hey.
If we are certain it headed
Uh,
underground, we will be going there. Unfortunately.
Cardamom,
Is it
you
worth
say something?
gathering more information? Can we use more information?
Well, the most that we know is that it went into the slums, and so far as I know, there are several prominent entrances into the underground in the slums. So if
So,
it found
do-
one of those, it may have likely slithered into one.
Do we know how to bargain or deal with Faye by chance?
I don't
I
have
was-
experience with that.
I don't either. My only idea was to pretend to be, on their hunt with them or against them. Because they might...
You
know
can
what I
make a nature check.
Okay.
I mean, they're more like an insect race, right? Would
They're kind of in the other category.
What?
buddy.
well, like in his brain, like he's thinking of Faye, like not insect race, but like in the realm of being that size. It's really not that deep.
I know.
Nimki, what's your nature modifier?
7.
Okay, that's a 16. Then. Oh, no.
I got 14.
Can I try a nature check? I only have a plus 5.
Absolutely.
Alright.
If you're trained in nature, you can try and
5.
chat display still being fucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows all of Nimki's rolls as constantly having been done right now, which keeps
Weird.
them locked at the bottom.
Oh, let me restart. Let me.
I am untrained in nature, so I do not
Yeah,
know
no.
much about this.
Here, I'm going to just clear
Yeah.
Nimki's. So Nimki's nature turned out to be a 19. Alish's was a 10. Cardamom was a 14. Nimki, Fae are definitely tricky creatures. You think if you were to try and bargain with them, it may be best to take the route of acting like competitors.
Yeah. I feel pretty confident about this, guys. I know it sounds goofy, but think about it. They're in their own fantasy, and they'll believe us when we're in it too.
Well,
No,
Lady
I
Dolmar made it
understand the
clear.
logic here. It does
Yeah.
sound like Fey logic.
Mm-hmm. They're out here playing games, so makes sense they'd want to have some competition. Up the stakes.
Hypothetically, if someone were to want to, I don't know, drug them, how would we go about doing that?
How do you drug a normal person?
Well, I mean, do they have like? Honestly, I'm wondering if it would be easier just to have some insurance to fall back on. If I were to potentially drug.
Nimki, I'll allow your nature check to roll over. Fae don't have. Well, most low-ranking Fae, such as the ones you're dealing with, don't have a particular resistance to drugs or intoxication. So,
As far as I know, it could work.
I'm thinking of poison their water supply.
All right, Mr. Mad Mage.
It's not to kill them, but get them out of the game.
But what if it
Don't
were to
care
kill
if you
them?
kill them?
Then they would still be out of the game. I don't understand the question.
Yes.
Get them out of the game, and then what? We go face the dragon, just the 6 of us?
Yes.
Back at the scenario we were trying to avoid earlier?
I'm just saying in
No,
case
the scenario we were trying to avoid is one of us trying to fight the Drake. 6 of us, we do have a chance. Although, I would still prefer it if the Fae managed to soften it up for us.
Right.
I'm setting it up so that it's not us versus dragon and Fae, is what I want the
Yeah.
insurance for.
Well, we're not going to fight
True.
them, puppy. I think we're just going to make them think that we want the dragon, which we do, and that they have to go a little faster.
Here's the problem here. Say that we and the Fae both find the dragon. What then?
That would be inconvenient, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, we could let them fight the Drake and then step in, but then we'd still have them to contend with because they aren't going to appreciate us taking their hunt.
They would also want to take advantage of us in the exact same way. It would be tricky.
That is true. If they did use us to track the Drake, at the very least, that would put us in front of them.
I mean, hire ourselves out.
Not hire ourselves out. Like Nimki said, we act like we're competitors. And then all of a sudden, it is advantageous to them to let us soften up the Drake.
Sounds good to me. Said Aloysius, who had nothing better.
I have half a mind to suggest that if we do encounter the Drake first, that we act like we're losing midway through the fight and run. And then watch what the Fae do. I know it's a little weird, but it's all I got.
Do they favor any specific humanoids as far as creatures go? Like, do they like children more, or just as an example? I do have something that we could use.
Really?
Specifically, our ninja's gonna absolutely have to do all the work for that. But
Not surprised.
I do have an elixir that can polymorph.
But you want to make Kenji look like a little cute little baby or something?
That was a
That's
hypothetical. I was thinking maybe make Kenji look like something that the Fae will be more receptive to listening to.
Ah.
I don't know.
The
They're on
child-
their hunt.
forget the child. The child was an example.
Algar pulls off her notebook and she starts flipping some pages. But that's what they call pedophile.
No, God.
Wow.
Let me see that notebook.
Wait, what?
Cardamom starts reading your notebook. Okay, why? Oh.
I don't know if you know how to read Colo.
Oh, fair.
You see a
I
bunch
assumed it was
of
common,
ugly
that's my bad.
scribbles. You see a bunch of ugly scribbles.
Yep,
On the
I
last
can't read
page,
this.
something that could remotely resemble you.
I mean, you drew me, so that's nice. I'll take that over the way that you drew me, which is very unflattering.
Alex just kind of peers at it. It's not a bad likeness.
Yeah, no, the line art is very good.
It's just a
The
big
anatomy's
smiley
not
face.
too bad either.
Don't look at that. It's unfinished.
I want to see this. I want to see Thalgar's interpretation.
Can think about that later.
So that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Maybe we can. I just wouldn't know. Wait, can I do a nature check to see if I would know what Fae potentially favor, or is that like irrelevant to what we're trying to do?
You're asking me? What?
I'm asking Ash or anyone, I guess, as long as it's not myself.
I cannot determine what you're going to do here.
Okay.
I can give you information.
I guess it's more of like a lore check on, because I guess I am metagaming a little bit. The idea is that I know, like, in some lore, like, pixies are more fond of children and, like, grant them wishes kind of a thing, and that's more of what I was inquiring. Like, if
That would be
Fae,
another nature
like-
check.
Okay.
It does track. It's just. It's going to be.
Not,
Let's go!
not specifically, unfortunately. Fae are, as any intelligent creature is, with its own will and personality. You know, each Fae is unique, but the Fae as a whole largely engage in trickery and deceptions.
Right.
That's
Does not specifically predilect them more towards liking children,
fair.
but
It
they
has to be
may
human.
they may appreciate someone who is able to outsmart them.
Okay. So disregard what I said. I'm just now remembering. I can't turn you into a Fae, so never mind.
You know, I wish I'd finished my wizard studies because I'd probably be a little more useful in this sort of situation if I had. But
You're plenty
whatever.
useful.
Spilt milk. Thank you, puppy.
Wag, 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 wag.
Maybe the question would be, which one of us would be the best at acting the part?
Well, they appreciate cunning most of all. So, if we I don't know, maybe potentially challenging them with a puzzle or riddles. Maybe. Have you seen Lord of the Rings? Do you know Gollum?
Now that's way in the future.
Well, they have
No, I
seen
know.
me beat the crap of one of them.
Yeah, that doesn't take a lot of brain power though. Like, do you know what I mean?
I don't have any strong ideas there. Sounds fun though. Give him a Rubik's Cube.
What? Well, our options are outsmart them or I drug them.
Or both.
Both.
We could do both. Wait, I do have
Cardamom,
red ampule.
What does that-
makes them dumber.
what does that polymorph potion allow you to turn someone into?
Favored by spies and tricksters, an infiltrator's elixir is used to alter your appearance. When imbibed, you take the shape of a humanoid creature of your size, but different enough so you might be unrecognizable. If you aren't a humanoid, you might take on a form more similar to your own. At the GM's discretion, the creator of the elixir decides the basic appearance you transform into when you imbibe the elixir, including eye color, skin tone, and hair color. The elixir can change your form into that of a specific person.
You look like one of
humanoid
them.
the same size.
Basically, the disguise self
You-
spell.
You become a bootleg of yourself.
You can't just turn somebody into a fly and have them follow the hunt to try and find the dragon.
I could
Does it
turn.
have to be a fly?
No. It could
What
be
about a
other
bigger flying critter?
Okay, now look.
Well, I wasn't thinking a bird. I mean, maybe I was, but
Kenji,
Mhm.
you do know that you have an option for stealthily following people
I do.
that is less noticeable than your normal form.
Yes, I was just thinking of that.
Do we have any way of staying in touch with Kenji if he goes off and like tracks them? Like, would we be able to? Hold on, let me look at my. Just trying to think about how we could, if he finds them, how could we?
a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, walk it through. Do I have any goodies? Let's see.
Wait, why am I asking the alchemist? Stealth master, little ninja fox over there. You got something for following them? If we challenge them to tracing down this dragon and see who can get to it first, is there some way you can glean information from the Fae?
Perhaps.
Perhaps is a good start. What's the next sentence?
The elixir does also give you a +4 to deception, if that helps. But you know,
DM, if can Tiki do anything like track a piece of metal if he's familiar with it? Like if it's something.
Not if it's outside of his aura, which has a range of 10 feet around him.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Gotta work on that gate.
To answer your question, Aloysius, I can talk with Kenji from a long distance back and forth, but I think I need line of sight of him.
The message cantrip is what you're thinking of, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, he would have to be able to see Kenji, but you could stay at a distance of 120 feet while following.
So
Yeah.
we could do a little stealth number. I'm sorry, I should be more carried. So we could sneak up a bit. You know, just stay behind,
It might work.
keep him in sight. So that's a thought. Maybe you could give us a little signal, Kenji. Something. I don't know. Anyhow,
I'm
kinda
overcomplicating
like
it.
that.
This is way better than what I was going for.
It feels smart.
alrighty.
Okay.
Do we actually have the
Onwards.
shape of a plan yet?
We have the shape of a plan. Is we try to find the Fae, confront them, challenge them to a game of who can find this Drake first, and then when we split from them, Kenji, you start following them and try to get any information about where they believe the dragon is or where they're looking.
They're gonna want a wager of some kind. They always do. It's the fair folk. What can we offer them if we lose?
Oh, I can give them my firstborn.
You what?
Like an egg?
What is the range of your familiar?
No, that's
Wait,
the trick. We don't give birth.
Jonas, have you introduced your familiar yet?
Wait, have I done? Sorry.
Have you introduced Hocus yet?
Oh, right. Yeah, I have a frog. This is. I have a frog now. I hold him up. His name is Hocus. Don't pick him up. He will pee on you.
I could probably polymorph that into something interesting, and then when they're satisfied and they maybe leave us alone, we can get the fuck out of there.
Aloysius,
You mean-
where did you pick that up for? Fuck's sake.
It's complicated. Don't ask.
He's its dad
You sure?
or granddad, whichever one is more flattering.
Thank you. Look, sometimes when you're a wizard, you just acquire weird little animals. It's a thing. Look, it's not
Can
important.
you, ac-
He likes
can you acquire a dragon?
I wish. I mean, if I was going to...
You know, you could actually have like small dragon-like familiars.
Oh, well, if I did, then I'd have to figure out how to train my dragon. And,
You know, there's
Anyway.
this wonderful movie.
It got a live action adaptation.
Which one? The live action or the...
Oh. So what you're-
Anyway, how close are we to the blacksmith? Because I'm
Yeah.
assuming we're walking while we're talking.
Yeah, are we there?
Where are you heading?
We're getting to the blacksmith at Ever Market, I believe.
We were following Felgar to the blacksmith while
No, you're
we were
there
walking
by
and
now.
talking. She was certainly leading the way.
All right, warrior, receive thy
Yes,
blade.
I totally was.
Yeah, no, you're there.
Okay.
By this point, the blacksmith is starting to close up his shop. As he sees you approach, like, hey, there you are. I was wondering if you were gonna come back by. You seemed really keen on getting your sword back as soon as possible.
Oh, that is wonderful news. I'm very satisfied with it. Let me see it.
Oh my God,
he
she's learning.
heads inside and retrieves your sword. As you look it over, it definitely seems sharper.
Ah, yes. This looks good. Here, this is for you. She gives him the 2 gold coins that she took from.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Don't spend it all in one place.
You
Okay.
can battle it at the fights in the fight pits.
He'll take the gold and kind of nod at you respectfully. And go like, all right, well, enjoy your new sword, lass. It's
I
certainly
most
Tiki's
definitely
like, wait,
It's a
but
unicorn.
wait. Oh.
all right. Felgar, I have upgraded your greatsword to a +1 greatsword.
Yay.
It's now slightly easier to hit things with it.
Yay, incremental
Slightly
progress.
Nothing.
italicized.
She starts swinging it like.
It cuts through the air much more cleanly than it did
Easy there.
just this morning.
Easy,
I
gently.
give her a wide berth.
Wait, what?
Just watch the radius. That's all I'm saying. I've already had yeah, I've already had a haircut.
I've taken a hit. I could probably take another one.
Oh, you most definitely don't want to.
Cardamom, you're already down 1 limb. Don't go for the high score on that.
What do you mean? I have 2. Perfectly functional.
Well, let me just make sure I understand what we've got going on as far as the plan here. We're gonna polymorph Hocus into something more interesting. We're gonna make a wager with the Fae and offer him as the wager on our side if we lose, and then we just don't lose. Right? Is that what? Do I have that all right?
We lie.
We lie. All right. I pick up Hocus and look at him and say, "Are you okay with this?" All right, he's okay with this.
Wow, I didn't know you speak frog.
I don't.
To me, it sounded like you said nothing. Anyways,
I'm actually just.
I
stares
don't
at you.
speak frog. I speak toad.
Now, as amazing as our plan is, I would prefer it if we just happened to find the Drake first without ever having to confront the Fae.
Could happen.
We could go in
It
tonight.
would certainly make it a
Kenji.
lot simpler.
Do you want to try and do this under cover of dark, Kenji? I'm not too keen on that, but
I am
It's
not
an option.
keen on it either.
all right.
However,
would rather find the dragon by ourselves too.
we still don't know exactly where the dragon went to, except that it is somewhere in the slums we last saw it.
Why don't we confirm that first then? And then we'll decide if we engage tonight or if we go tomorrow.
You're saying we locate it, we mark where it is, and then make a decision based on that?
Yeah, like a team or something, or like a party.
Sounds iffy. I don't like doing this in the dark underground. But what do you all think?
I say the sooner the better.
love the idea of going underground.
I want to go for it.
We're all gonna die.
Maybe.
Well,
Actually, I've completely forgotten how to set up my potions for the day. How do I do my daily potion?
First of all, you have to rest for the night.
Okay, fuck. All right, fair. Okay,
Go.
I would actually like to do this tomorrow. Now that I'm thinking about it, at least
Well,
the
if-
fight part.
if we're not actually confronting the beast tonight, if we're just doing reconnaissance and locating it, then we could split up.
Sniff some trails out, try to find signs of it.
The more stealthy among us can go locate the damn thing, and those of us who need to do preparations can prepare. Sound good?
Agreed.
Oh.
Cardamom puts his hand out into the circle.
Nimki does it too.
Oh, thank God. I haven't done this before. I thought it was awkward and cringe.
Now we're just holding paws. And everyone's staring at us.
This is the best alternative.
Speak.
Tiki does it as well.
Oh, it just puts his hand.
Feathery.
We
You
Okay,
feel
so
so
it's
far
like-
back.
Salgar and Kenji throw their hands into the center of the circle.
No, fine, whatever. She does that.
Kenji would die of
Cardamom puts-
embarrassment.
Cardamom puts his second hand on
What?
top of the.
What I'm saying is that one of you need to grab Kenji's hand and pull it into the circle.
Oh, Cardamom does that.
No teamwork.
Go team. Okay, social anxiety's kicking in. Get off me. And he backs up.
DM, there's some stuff I would need to do to prepare, ideally, right? I feel like there is.
To prepare your spells,
Yeah.
much like with Cardamom, you need to rest for the evening.
Right. Okay.
But then
I'll-
you can just prepare your spells after you wake
Okay.
up.
so I
Same
am
with
not.
Cardamom.
So I'm not going into the dark and deep tonight.
most likely not. No.
I'm trying
That's
to
fine,
remember if Nimki spent any of his spells, because if he didn't, he has a little bit of stealth he could use. And some stealthy magic.
I do not believe you did.
Yeah, I don't think I did. So Nimki could help out with that.
Okay. So Nimki and I guess Kenji are going down there. Anyone else?
Like I said, I want to go underground.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm okay with going.
Yes. Yes, put me
I'll
into
do
the
reconnaissance.
That'll be fun. I can play lookout for you. If you need it.
Yeah.
That goes for either of you.
All right. So it's Nimki, Kenji, Cardamom, and Tiki.
Sure.
That sounds like a good party.
Okay.
Wait. What party is that?
They're the ones
So far
going.
it's 4.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're gonna go do recon, see if they can locate the dragon. Not to confront, but just to
Confirm.
pinpoint, confirm. Yeah.
We're scouting.
Yeah.
To find signs and signatures of its presence.
And I am
Could
staying
go
up.
along. I promise I won't try to kill it if I see it.
The time for that will come, apparently.
Mm. But Cardamon has to stay behind if he's going to do his preparations, and so do I.
Okay, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
All right.
We're headed
Best of
north.
luck.
We're gonna march north and we're gonna chant. What is it? Wild hunt. Wild hunt.
Yeah.
Now that may certainly
mind if
get
I
their
let it?
attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Aloysius and Cardamon decide to rest so that they can re-prepare, while Thelgar, Tikikiri, Nimki, and Kenji head off to do some nighttime reconnaissance and maybe getting a lead up on the Fae.
I guess I'm going back to my little place in Lowtown, I suppose.
That is up to you.
All right. I mean, we have to rest. You know, it's gonna be an overnight anyway, so I'm gonna just head back. All right. Best of luck. See you later, puppy.
Bye. What we can do is wait. We can do a sleepover. You know, platonically. Never mind that it's pride.
Oh. Well, for another 36 hours or so.
Aloysius, do you want to take Cardamon up on his offer for a sleepover?
Oh, well, am I going to Cardamon's place or is he
Dealer's choice.
All right. Well, fine.
is-
Here.
Neat.
Why don't you show me yeah.
Oh, good. He grabs you, and
Yep.
y'all run off, just
Good.
essentially back to where the alchemist shop is.
Use protection.
Does
I
Cardamon
don't
live
have
with
that spell.
does Cardamon live with Zara?
No,
Cardamom.
I live in what is probably, you can imagine, is probably like a I don't want to say penthouse because I feel like that's like above the pay of an alchemist. I don't want to say studio apartment, probably just like a 1-bedroom that's kind of cozy.
Doghouse.
Yeah. Cardamon's the
You're
kind
gonna
that like only takes what he needs.
Where am I gonna sleep?
You act like there isn't a big bed right there or a couch. There's 2 whole options.
Alrighty.
You
And
could
we can be in
even
both
share.
of them.
Oh no! No!
Just so you know, I sleep with my arm. And my clothes, but the arm I thought was more disturbing.
I think we should like spend the rest of the session, letting those two,
What do you mean?
I don't know
Yes.
if we can. I don't know if we can do that on Twitch.
I mean, we can find out
The hard way.
the hard way.
Turns out they just played dice and cards all night.
Yeah,
I win!
We played D&D.
Yeah.
Ew, disgusting.
God.
Let's
Could play, I don't know, Twister.
How's everybody doing in the chat tonight?
Oh no, he said the thing.
But yeah, this feels like might be a good place to put a bookmark in it, unless we want to do the preparation stuff like right now. Like, do we need to?
Oh, you still got a good amount of time.
let's
I'm assuming.
let's head back over and check on the other party who are doing the recon.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
And what Aloysius and Cardamon get up to in Cardamon's apartment is up to them.
I will let Aloysius decide. Cardamon's puppy and is down for whatever. He's just excited to not be by himself in his apartment tonight with his trauma.
Oh my god.
So, Felgar, Nimki, Kenji, and Tiki Kiri, you all have decided to head off to the slums to see if you can gather information. It is quite dark at this point. I don't think any of you have dark vision. And the slums are not lit.
At all?
There are a few, lights streaming out of some buildings, but for the most part, the streets are dark. You are lit by this night sky, which is not very well. There's not very much light at all.
We might want to stick close together.
Did you guys not do the adventure prep thing?
Literally,
Tiki Kiri pulls out a torch. Tiki Kiri's gonna pull out a torch and light it.
From where?
If you want to make yourself a target, be my guess.
That's what I was
We're
thinking.
walking through the streets of the slums. It's not that big of a target.
Maybe if you're alone.
I don't think I'm alone right now.
Okay, good.
I've got you, Nimki.
Yeah.
You're a much juicier target.
Probably technically.
You hear a disembodied voice in the distance.
It's true. Mice are the most delicious of the Rat King.
Nimki vanishes.
Nimki evaporates.
There's plenty of darkness to hide in.
I'm sure we've already lost Kenji.
Kenji
go
probably
home?
follows from outside of the range of the light of the torch.
Yeah.
If I do have to be in here in the dark, I'm going to use it to my advantage.
Yeah, I think Nimki would want to be stealthy too. He's pretty good at it.
I suppose having low light vision doesn't help at all, huh?
I'm afraid it's basically just dark.
I mean, low light helps with the torch, but that's about it.
I mean, do you still have the torch up?
Yeah, I put the torch up.
Okay.
Is there a thing I can do where I can, put the AoE on myself?
Oh, like on the graphics?
Yeah. I don't see anything for
Just
that.
for
Oh, well.
funsies.
That's
But yeah,
fine.
if we travel together, maybe they can ask around and find out anything. Good hiding places for drakes.
There used to be a thing with the torch where you could apply a light effect, but you don't really need it on this map anyway. So,
No, this map is not to scale, so.
but yeah, it sounds like Nimki and Kenji are following along outside of the range of the torch, while Tiki Kiri and Thelgar make themselves targets.
Like you do.
What are you? What's your plan here? What do you? How are you going to go about gathering information?
We want to find tracks and traces of this dragon, of this drake. So either that's witnesses or that's going to be physical marks it's left behind. It was a big heckin' thing crawling and slithering along the ground. There's no way it could have done so without disturbing something.
So that's going to be a survival check to attempt to track it that way.
I think Nimki's going to try the same thing here. I think that's what he's good at. Let's see.
I mean, I could try the same. I mean, I do have decent survival.
I got a good roll there.
You did.
Whoa!
All right. Between Thelgar and Nimki, you're able to find signs of the Drake's movement, despite the fact that it is effectively pitch black out. Had Thelgar not rolled that natural 20, he would not have been able to succeed.
Wow.
Just because of the penalties of trying to do this when it's nighttime and you don't have dark vision.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The Drake is actually quite a stealthy creature despite its size. And it is, as you follow its movement, you can tell that it is taking pains to avoid people as it is able to. It's moving slowly, from what you can tell. It's trying not to damage anything as it goes. It has a hard time doing that just because of its size. And there are not a whole lot of tracks to follow, but you are nevertheless able to pick up on depressions in the ground of its large feet, tracks where its claws dug into the stonework as it passed through. You are able to follow it as far as a small complex of what look like abandoned warehouses. Run down and dirty. You see no signs of the Fae as you approach this area.
Oh, that's ideal. I think we were quicker than them here.
Do I
Yeah, the rest-
hear? Do I just hear Nimki say that from the darkness?
Oh, probably.
I look, I see nothing there, and I'm like, all right. I'm gonna assume that Nimki and Kenji can hear me right now. I say as I turn around, like look around, I don't see anything of them.
Oops.
Do you think one of you could get on top of this warehouse and peer a look in?
Okay, I'm gonna be doing that then.
Assuming there's enough light.
Kenji, you would be able to get up without too much difficulty. I will not make you roll for that just because your athletics is high enough and these buildings are in not great repair, so there are plenty of handholds.
Mm-hmm.
That said, you, like the rest of your party, do not possess dark vision. And the insides of the warehouses are pitch black.
I mean, we got this far. We were probably gonna need to wait for morning anyway.
That said, the insides of the warehouses are pitch black. This is a creature of fire you are looking for. It's not made of fire, but it does produce and utilize fire.
Did it smell like anything?
Make a perception check.
It's a cool idea.
This will have a slight penalty because you don't have the scent ability, but you might be able to track it that way.
In precise sense, go.
Basically. You can smell faintly smoke and sulfur, but you cannot pinpoint it. You know it passed through this area, though.
Okay.
It's entirely possible that it's still here, but your sense of smell is just not strong enough to find it, if it is.
can't think of much more we can do here right now.
No, we've got the general direction. I think the best thing right now would be to move on. If we keep trying to pursue it and we get close, we may scare it out of whatever hidey hole it has found, and then we could lose the trail again.
True.
But if it has found somewhere safe, we might be able to find it again later on. Well, somewhere it
I like
thinks
that
it's
thinking.
safe. I'm going to, as we start to walk away from this warehouse, I'm not going to just like go back the way we came. I'm going to keep walking down the same direction of the street we came from. And then once we get far enough away where someone in the warehouse could no longer see the torchlight, then I will like go across and back down another street.
That's a good idea.
Gotcha. So you're just kind of looping around, making a large loop around. To try
Yeah,
and throw
trying
off
to
anyone
make
who
it so
might have seen you.
Yeah, making them think we've just passed on in the same direction.
Okay.
It's very smart. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Just for the sake of argument, Tiki, roll a d20 for me.
It's a raw d20.
Just a straight d20. And I will take note of what the result is.
Roll? Roll? Click on the thing that says roll?
Is acting up.
It may be acting up. It's
There we
been
go. Oh, there it goes.
going a little
great.
sluggish.
Yeah. It's still... Forge is still having issues.
Okay.
A little bit.
Not quite as bad as last week, but, you know, big updates will do that, unfortunately. Okay.
Hopefully it means that it'll be better once they patch it a little bit.
Ideally. But yeah, so you kind of circle back around and leave the slums. You think you have a general idea of at least where it was recently. You might be able to get more information if you head back there when you can actually see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I think that was worthwhile. I have a vague thought that maybe someone could stay there overnight and keep an eye on whatever just to see, but like, I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I would.
What are you volunteering?
I would actually like the four of you to all make perception checks as well.
Okay.
Just general. Okay. Good to know.
Looks like Tiki did all right. Nah. Okay.
Tiki, you don't see anything, but you hear what sounds like very quick footsteps. A few, a short distance away from where you are as you leave the slums. Very rapid little footsteps.
I hear the footsteps coming towards me.
No. They're going away.
Yeah.
How rapid? Did they sound anything like the Fae we saw when
Unnaturally
we were chasing the
rapid.
Drake?
I would equate it to the sound of a hummingbird's wings. Just buzzing, effectively, except slapping. If you were to take a guess, it may have been the Quickling.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. And with that, I think the game is on. We
You
know what
barely
they're here
passed
for.
that perception check, by the way.
We know what they're here for, and now they've seen that we're persistent about it as well. The pieces are on the board, at least.
Uh, I was afraid this was going to happen, and it does not please me very much. I do not like being tracked.
I don't know if there's a way around it.
Wait, but like,
Maybe for you
is
there is
Sticky the only one who heard the footsteps?
Yeah, Tiki
Yes.
was.
Yeah, I'm the only one who heard it, but then I said aloud, we have been noticed by the Fae.
Oh, you said that.
Yes. No, I was trying to say that in character.
Okay.
I don't yet have a tiki voice.
Oh, so we ended up being followed, have we?
They were going to notice us sooner or later.
If they weren't already following us from the outset.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty sure that they were not following you the whole time.
No, those
It
footsteps
sounded like
are
they, yeah, it sounded like they might have seen you as you were leaving the slums, and ran off as soon as they noticed you. If you had to take a guess,
Okay.
but you can also guess that they are aware that you are looking for the same thing they are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise,
Well-
there'd probably be no reason for you to be snooping around in this part of town.
Well, this would be our opportunity. If we want to keep walking out of the slums, we can do that. But if we want to try and turn and make conversation, well, we don't need to find them. They've found us.
If it was just the one Fae, it sounded like it ran off from you rather quickly. You recall seeing this thing zip around at an absurd speed. There's no possible way you could catch it. If it ran off, you're not sure.
Yeah.
You also don't know how far it might have had to go, so you can certainly try.
Hard in the dark,
No.
though.
Yeah, I'm still just walking along the street, kind of having to change my stride in response to it. This is me talking to Thelgar and sort of out into the darkness at the other two. Of whether we just leave the slums, regroup back up in the morning, or if we think that it is, because I still think it might be worth it to at least be on talking terms with the Fae.
I agree.
I'm not sure I agree. Now you can do what you like. GM.
Mm-hmm.
Since I have not actually used any of my formulas for my alchemist dedication, can I swap one out?
Oh, absolutely.
In that case, assuming that this is correct, okay, how do I do this?
You can just drag it onto your formula list, whatever it is, from the compendium browser.
Oh, from the browser there.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
It does occur to Kenji that, having dark vision being a ninja. Those two things might go together better. He is trying to recall off the top of his head several of the chemical formulas that were rapidly listed out for him. He only kept
Yes.
up because because he learned a little bit of alchemical crafting from Lady Dolmar. Only now that he's trying to put this into practice.
Get going in about 7-8 minutes.
Yeah, no, we're probably going to stop here. As you all
we
leave
resolve
this room.
sleepover.
That depends. What do you want to happen during the sleepover?
I'm gonna leave all of that up to Aloysius, actually. But Aloysius has options. So Cardamon's, I'm gonna say it's like a suite. So it's got like a 1-bedroom and a bunch of stuff in like the main big room. So it has like a small kitchen and area where he hangs out. Not a lot of chairs because he doesn't have a lot of guests. But like a bunch of comfortable stuff to do, whether it's like libations on the wall for like nice alcohols or ingredients to make nice alcohols, and a bookshelf that's by an open window that's growing various sorts of herbs and ingredients that he uses a lot in potions, and a hammock that's also hanging by the window with a really comfy and plush pillow that has a very nice view of the city, and some books of various things in that same corner, varying anything from the Lusty Argonian Maid to Shakespeare. So really eclectic dog. And like his workbench for working on his arm or gun, and various pieces of art strewn about that also includes one of him and his adoptive dad.
That does catch your eye, Aloysius.
Which one?
The picture of Cardamon's parental figure.
Okay.
It is a large snake person, similar to Lady Dolmar, but masculine presenting.
Oh. So, what's the story there?
Oh, Dad? Not a whole lot. We ran into each other on the first night that I had gotten out, and he was one of like the first people I had experienced that were genuinely kind. And I don't know if it's him taking pity, or the way that he looked, or maybe I was too puppy, or maybe I was like just annoying enough, but he took me traveling with him. He said that he needed an apprentice, but I don't think he really did. He said he would have a lot of work for me to do to make up for the travel expenses and just being with him, but I think he was really just lonely. But he's this really, really big alchemist that would be a traveling pharmacist and doctor, and would go, and anyone that asked for help, he would give it. It was fun. I didn't really have like a home for a while, and we were traveling, which made it really easy to avoid all of the like people that for some reason wanted to experiment. He's nice. He didn't give birth to me, if that was your question.
Why? That wasn't. I oh.
No, well, you don't know. I'm just covering my bases. But yeah, he's why I'm an alchemist right now.
Well, I think we owe him then, because you've Alex just struggles to find a compliment. You've really helped us out.
I appreciate that. He wags.
Okay, now kiss.
That's up to Aloysius!
Come on, quick. We're finishing the stream.
We have like 10 minutes or 11 or however
long chat wants this to go.
he would. Are you thirsty or are you bored? I have cards and
Thirsty.
books and other things. I don't have a lot of things for, I don't know, guests. And he's really nervous because he hasn't had a friend over. I have Go, or it's like Othello, or, you know, there's like that view, or,
Do you have Mario Kart World?
that's not porn yet.
Tell you what, puppy. We'll just have a drink. I think that's a
Okay.
good place to start.
That sounds like a pretty good place.
I mean, I figure you're
Um,
probably pretty good at making drinks, right?
It depends on my rolls. Wait. He likes making himself fruity, but he probably pins Aloysius as like a savory kind of guy.
Yeah,
So,
Like whiskey.
oh, I see. No, that tracks. He tries to make the equivalent of like a whiskey sour or old fashioned. Let's see. I want to roll for. Wait, is that crafting?
Thing.
It is crafting. Okay. I'll do that. And oh, thank God. I haven't done this in a minute, so if it doesn't taste good, and he gives it a sniff, and he's like, this definitely isn't my speed. And you can smell the sugar from his drink, and you haven't even like picked it up probably.
Aloysius sips it and then
I rolled a 23 on the crafting.
Yeah.
If that helps.
not bad.
Very
Not
good.
bad. Yeah. Maybe you can make me another one after that. And then the camera
Alright.
can conveniently cut away.
Okay, fair. Cardamom looks like a really big tiki drink, and Aloysius is drinking out of a tin cup.
That feels about right.
That's
Tiki
fair.
drink? Where?
No, like the bar.
Oh, damn it.
Oh my God! Wait, that would be fun. A tiki kiri drink. I'd assume that they enjoy and that they would probably just talk. Then for the rest of it, doing whatever the other is comfortable with, and with enough intoxication, I'm sure we can leave in a blank space for what happens.
We'll just put an
The,
ellipsis
the
in
screen the screen fades to black.
there. Because we're on Twitch.
What happens after that?
And then you hear some soft shuffling of potentially two people in sheets on a bed. And that's all you get.
Oh, I see. The Baldur's Gate treatment, huh?
I could go graphic.
We are on Twitch. Do want to emphasize that.
It's okay. Jenna's gonna draw something and post some naughty
God.
stuff anyway.
It's
Yeah.
God.
They wake up feeling refreshed. From what? They'll never tell.
Yeah. From
They may or may not smell like each other.
oh my God.
Cardamom would be the only person able to tell, as he's the only party member with scent.
I see. Wait,
yes.
how much will they have to smell like each other for the party to figure that out?
That depends on how long you're going at it. But we're gonna go ahead and stop for the
How long do you
evening.
want to? How long do you want to go at
You
it?
gotta figure that out real quick.
Who are we
It's
rating?
okay. We're gonna see
Yeah.
art of that real soon.
There's one thing that I wanted to do before we quit.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted Kenshi to actually go back into the slums.
I was wondering if you had any ideas there.
Because he is going to maximize his stealth back all the way to the warehouses. With his versatile vials and dark vision elixir, he has 40 minutes of dark vision between them.
Mhm.
So, he goes there while sneaking and be looking through as many of the warehouses as he can to see if he can notice anything.
Give me a perception check to search the warehouses. I'll say that this could have happened at the same time. You were all there earlier. Kind of. Are you going into the warehouses, or are you just searching from, the
Only going
rooftops?
into the warehouses if I am absolutely certain that nobody's going to notice.
Okay, give me a stealth check as well, then. Because you are doing this in the, basically pitch blackness, it will have a bonus. Okay. You look around. You're fairly certain nobody's following you. It is pitch black out. It would be difficult to see you, just in general. You quickly kind of dig through a few of these warehouses, heading into one, looking for signs before abandoning it and heading into another, looking for signs there. And you repeat this process a few times before you discover what looks like a broken hatch leading down beneath one of the warehouses.
And what does it appear is in the hatch?
It looks like it heads down into what appears to be a storage tunnel. The Give me a perception or crafting check. Crafting will be easier.
Let's see, I have the same bonus for both.
The breaks on this hatch are recent. This is not old damage. Something broke through this. If you had to guess, probably within the last day.
Okay. Well, I am going to have to somehow make a note of this warehouse without anybody else knowing that I've made a mark. Fortunately, I do not have, a spell for that.
You do not.
So, let's see.
I can think of one way that you could hide all of your tracks.
Hmm.
You cast the spell Burn Warehouse.
I'm not trying to destroy the warehouse. I'm trying to mark it so that we can find it again. So, I need to, put something inconspicuous on the roof of this warehouse.
Well, how much do you trust Cardamom's ability to smell things?
Let's see.
You can heal.
I actually have some chalk in my backpack. I can make a very subtle mark on the roof of the warehouse.
Oh, Tums!
There you go.
I have to mute for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. I also need to put the mark someplace that if it just happens to rain, it's not going to ironically wash it out. So
Okay. Stealth or thievery. Just to determine whether you can hide it really well or if you can make something particularly inconspicuous. One or the other. You manage to find a point in the warehouse's roof where the wood has cracked and splintered and is starting to rot and dry, where the wood appears light. It's hard to tell in your dark vision because it's black and white, but you can see the differing shades of where the wood kind of grades, having been bleached in the sun for so long. You make a mark there at the point where it's lightest, where you think that the white chalk will still stand out particularly better in the light of day, but still be difficult to see.
Okay. No, that's all I can reasonably do tonight, since I do not have very much dark vision left, so I will be going back in order to get some rest.
I missed some of that. Did Kenji locate the?
I located a hatch in which the Drake may have escaped.
Nice. Okay.
So the investigation did come fruitful.
I mean, we did already know that it was probably in the warehouses. I just got us a little bit farther.
Cardamon's not the only thing getting seated tonight.
All right.
Round of applause for Ash.
God.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to roleplay being a chair, Aloysius.
Now, see here.
I can't hear you.
Right.
Okay, I'm done. I'm
Chat.
done.
I think we're good for tonight. We've got us a raid target. We're going to be raiding Kelith.
Yeah.
They're playing Kangaroo.
Naturally.
They're talking about their times in VR chat, it seems.
Elf is kangaroo.
It is true. There will not be a game next week. I am sorry to say I will be working,
Oh, okay.
but after that we should be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Y'all can just imagine.
Right.
It should be
Feel free
AC
to
next
imagine
weekend.
everything that Aloysius and Cardamon got up to.
Yeah. We played board games and
Braid each other's hair.
Played Find the
Yeah.
Pickle.
we did some literary critique with Cardamon's library, and
What do you mean I shouldn't be reading this book? The Lusty Argonian Maid is actually very compelling.
We found all the interesting ways that Cardamom's arm can interface with the body.
oh my god.
We read the
Read it 100 times.
What's the sex? But I'm trying to remember.
Kama Sutra or whatever.
What is the
Kama
sex?
Sutra?
Yes, the Kama Sutra.
Yeah.
We read the Kama Sutra.
Oh my. Cover to cover.
We
I'm not flexible for that.
Okay, we have about
We
10
tried-
seconds.
we tried
All right, all
Shibari.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have a
Thanks
good
for
night.
coming out to the
Speak, speak,
stream. Bye.
Join us tomorrow by lunchtime, Jonas.
Wait,
Bye.
no, I have more things to say.